everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're gonna be mainly focused on how does Punisher stack up / kind of companion rankings. I'm expecting some more companions here in the next couple weeks, so we're gonna talk about what you should do right now as well, because I don't want to get too much into rankings knowing some more are coming, but it inherently sort of goes that way anyway. So but we'll look at them, check it out, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you're seeing something that I'm not, etc., etc. Obviously, hammer down like buttons, click notification bells, all that sort of thing. And if you want to help support the channel more, feel free to check out that membership program they've now got on YouTube. It helps the channel out a ton. All right, let's get to it.
Bring me WolverThor!
Okay, companion time. So, all right. So let's just, gosh, should we just start with him? Let's start with him and then we'll kind of circle back a little bit. So first things to note, his collection attack. I do like that. So we had Moon Knight who just came across who was very similar to that. But you know, Moon Knight also had some bonus effects that were attack percentage, which I really liked a lot. And you can see it got up to about 82, which isn't huge, but it's pretty solid. So Punisher, again, he's doing attack. Okay, fine. I like that. And you know, yeah, it tells me it was a plasma. You know what would be awesome in the game is if you could click this and you could see the levels as they go up. Be pretty dope. Anyway, so the bonus effects, super villain damage, 2.31% and 4.63%. I actually like this for PvE builds. If you can get them to 5 and 6 stars, let's see if I can, and the reason for that is it will open up your Omega cards a little bit. So I'm on my PvE, yes. So if you look at my PvE stats as far as supervillain goes, you can see I'm just above cap. It's at 75%. Now, the way I get that is specifically through my Omega cards. I've got supervillain death crit damage, right? Yep. I've got crit damage, or I'm sorry, I've got supervillain damage on a number of cards here. So I've got a supervillain damage card there, got a double supervillain damage with a bonus stat there, which, you know, I was rolling cards until I could get supervillain damage on some of these. It's a crit damage. And then another supervillain damage card. So as you can see here, I basically have 3 dedicated cards that are all supervillain damage related. Now, what I'd love to do is, and even though you can see that that's a bad stat for a PvE set, but what are you gonna do? I should probably re-roll that actually. So what you want to do is try to find stuff, and I've got another one here I forgot on this card. So, but it's a bonus stat. It's sort of a weird tweener card. That's one of the reasons why RNG in this game, you hear me constantly complaining about it, is because, you know, well, now I can't change that, and it's this weird in between set, and it's like, you know, using a 6-star to keep rolling on that thing is kind of a pain. It's like, why not let me lock one of those in? Anyway, that's not what this video is about. So anyway, that's where I get that. So if I can get maybe, you know, a certain percentage increase of supervillain damage, maybe I can, you know, drop this card. And I can bring in a total damage card or a max damage rate card or something along those lines to help my PvE build out, which, you know, at this point really matters mainly for Alliance Raid, a little bit of Dark Zone. The question becomes, how much do you want to build up one companion to help with that? Because it really only happens when you get to 5 and 6 star. And then, like I've said in a number of other videos, to get up companions is very difficult. So I mean, you can see all my companions, and I haven't gone super hard. I've got 1, 2, really 3. I mean, technically there's 5. I've got 2 more here that are 5-star, but you know, 2 specials are rare and 2 commons that are, you know, 5-star. I've got a number of 4s, but it is a real pain in the butt. I mean, it is what is it? 160. You know, so it takes forever to get those. You don't get a lot of shards there, and it takes a hot minute. So anyway, for that reason, I am a little low on currently on Punisher. Looking at his skill here, again, this is without any levels in it. So he does stick around for about 12 seconds. He applies a low level, 26% of a hero's attack at this level again. And then he increases damage when he burns when a skill lands. So basically he's going to put a burn on a character, assuming they haven't dodged or something like that. And look, I like burns. An increase for a damage by 20% is great. The damage for supervillain, which is right here, it's an increase. So the increases companion's final skill damage by 130%. Okay, so there's an additional damage percent against supervillains. Increase companion's final guard damage by 50%. So it is giving us some increased damage there for supervillains, which, like I said earlier, his stats, they're clearly focused on that, which is like, okay, at least they leaned into that a little bit, and I'm, not worried about, well, he's a little bit here, he's a little bit there. Now, this is more about the skill. Follows the summoner and prior to his attacking supervillains. Great. Deals guard damage once as an initial attack. Depending what that guard damage is, if it's a massive, like, you immediately guard break somebody or something, that's pretty sick in all game modes. PvE, PvP. Has anybody actually built this guy up and actually experienced that? I've literally seen nobody use this guy so far. It seems like a lot of people are not super high on him, but if that guard damage was some monster, like, takes somebody's guard damage down to like this much and the next hit basically guard breaks them, that's pretty nice. Now, I will say the first guard break isn't going to do much because someone's probably going to use both their dodges to get out of it, but that also wastes a bunch of dodges. So survive until the next summon, and while you've got someone sitting there for a hot second. It awakens when the target is under the effect of guard break. It awakens to inflict burn and deal great damage. So the part that I'm a little confused about this one is earlier it said when the skill lands you, it burns. Well, now in this one it says when the target is under guard break, it inflicts burns and does great damage. So what I'm hoping is regardless he lands a burn, and then additionally if somebody's under a guard break effect, it's going to do an increased amount of damage and maybe an additional burn. I don't know. I hope it's not, it only burns when there's guard break, because I don't like situational skills. I don't like situational summons or companions. That was why I was sort of sour on Ghost Rider. So I think this could be cool, but it depends how it actually works in game. Attacking the supervillains drastically increases damage and guard damage regardless of max value. So again, drastically increases. What's that mean? I don't love seeing that with stuff like this. I want to know percentages. I want to know amounts. So overall, he seems like a decent PvE companion. He's not something I'm going to necessarily run out and level up right away. If I get him, great. If I don't, great. But at some point I would use him just if I had him at 5 or 6 stars, just purely for these percentages here, so that I could try to get different Omega cards. So having said that, how well does he stack up to some of the other companions? As you can see through what I've got on my, it's kind of blocking here, but there's my Thor right there. So you can see him at 1, and just above my head or under my head here, I've got War Machine. So Thor, I like collection status, bonus effects, defense and attack, both solid. Takes a while to get him there. His skill, it's about some additional damage, and he gives an additional stack of shock. When I covered him originally, I said, like, I think he's nice for somebody like Storm. I'm still kind of at the point, I haven't touched him. Mordo, similar situation. I don't like the collection stat as much. The defense and HP is decent, given that he's typically used with strange and or magic, and they sort of leaned into those stats for those characters. His skill, it is nice again for Doctor Strange and magic, because it gives you some alt gauge and cooldown. Otherwise, it just sort of attacks the other person. So, and then War Machine, again, he's just, I don't know, melee damage increase and decrease. All right, it's not bad. And then his skill, where he just does some missiles and some damage. Decreases movement speed. Okay, that's actually kind of nice, but it's, it's only 12%. Granted, it's an early skill. I don't know. Those three to me, or those four, yeah, those three outside of Punisher are sort of the low level ones. Spider-Man, I like him with other Spider-Man to stack up some of those cocoons situations so you can get somebody cocooned a little bit faster. I think that's a smart thing to do as a Spider-Man. Yondu, he's not used as much. You know, his skill to get the dodges away. You know, it's still out there. I do like the collection stat, the bonus stats. You got XP and movement speed. I mean, honestly, I didn't like the combination of that. For that reason, I think he'll, you know, pretty much fall off. You got all these other random ones. Nick Fury, he's towards the bottom of my list still. Accuracy rate, total damage, I like those stats, but I'm not going to equip for that. His skill, it's a barrier. While in the barrier, you're going to not get it recovers the summoner's guard gauge completely, and it blocks guard damage while you're in there. It's just not something I see happening. Nobody really uses them. Vision, you know, some damage decrease when it's, you know, and it's nice to use it with others. Defense down with Cersei. This is where you're starting to get some better tunes. All right, now of this top two rows, the weakest one is probably the only reason he's up here is because he's on this third one, which is funny because I don't even use him, so he's normally not even up there. Ghost Rider was actually somewhat disappointing to me. It just, and I've mentioned this before, that you've got to land the burn, you've got to land your own burn, and then he's got to land his ability. Now, if you do that, it's a huge damage and it's awesome. But again, it's situational where it's a two RNG things that you need to happen, be able to do what it intends to do. I don't like that. It's too many steps. So I've got him towards the bottom a little bit. Moon Knight, outside of being a stat stick, I mean, he's just a stat stick. I love the attack here, where you get an additional percentages here. I like that a lot. His skill, it seemed okay. I played around with it a little bit. It didn't seem to do what I thought it would do in like mass groups, which was a little bit disappointing. Athena's still up there. She's still great. You know, stat wise, bonus effect wise, you know, defense, pierce, and crit damage. If I could get her to 6 stars, that would be great. But again, it is so hard. I've got 45 out of 320. Yeah, that's like, all right, I'll get that, you know, in 10 months maybe. If for that reason, again, that's a reason why I don't fly through trying to get companions. I still enjoyed Daredevil quite a bit. He hits quite pretty hard. I've only got mine at 3-star. I like his stats again, but I don't, you know, and even his collection stats not bad. His skill, it hits really hard. It hits everybody really hard. I like it. I mean, it's really, really good. You know, it disables the attack dodge situation. I mean, a lot of people get out of it pretty easily because they see him coming. He stands there for a second and they dodge, so they don't take any of that. But I still like him. Gilgamesh, it's hard to land that stun, but when you do, it's really good. His stats here, again, it's sort of a hodgepodge between two things, which for that reason, I'm kind of like, well, I'm not going to equip him for that because it's not like a narrow focus, which the game tends to lean into, which sort of leaves the last two, which tend to be the last, or the, you know, Ultron's still okay. I know he's a rare, but you see a lot of people use him still for barrier. It's not bad. And then you've got Icarus and Hulk is sort of the top still. Icarus just an insane amount of damage. People still love him. He, again, leans into the stats that you'd want for PvP. If you could get him there, it's actually really nice. Collection stat, range damage decrease, not bad. The amount in damage, you can see I don't even have him super built up, but it's a really heavy, hard hit. Easy to dodge and get out of if you're using an iframe or something along those lines. But Hulk is still sort of the most annoying, you know, must-have companion in the game. It's just, you know, I play around with my targeting a little bit, and because of the targeting in the game, and it's still weird to me that he like shakes his head. It like freaks me out. Because of the targeting in the game has some issues. It can be difficult to get around him, and you're constantly targeting him. But he lasts for 15 seconds. If you have high HP and, you know, decent attack, he comes around and he taunts and attacks people in the area. So it's kind of like you can't attack who you want to attack unless you get the targeting, try to lock in and stuff like that. So for that reason, I've still sort of got him towards the top, and same thing with Icarus, Daredevil. Those are the ones that I really sort of like at the top. You know, you'll see some other ones sprinkled in there. And then, you know, I think that Punisher, you know, the one mainly in this video, I think that I think that what he's got here is okay. Again, Alliance raid, yeah, I like the game mode, it's fun, but getting a companion up that high for it, I don't know, I'm not sure I'm feeling it. So I would sort of hold back and get this guy just casually built a little bit. The other big nugget for this is because of the stuff that I'm expecting to come in the next week, or when we get that patch for Scarlet Witch, I really think it's next week, or maybe the week after. I have to check my calendar. I, for that reason, would hold on to my companion openings. I wouldn't do it for Punisher. I would wait to see what we get with, whether it's Wong or America Chavez, who knows. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Anything I might have missed, how you feel about this guy. Hammer down like buttons, click notification bells, subscribe, all that sort of thing. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.